We'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Mike Schultz's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
Back here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Final score here today, the Diamondbacks 6 and the Padres 2. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the broadcast booth here in Phoenix as the Padres drop this series opener to the D-backs. And obviously a couple of issues, as Bob and I just discussed on the postgame wrap-up. Couple of issues here tonight for the Padres. Number one, it was a rough Padres debut for J.P. Sears. He went 5 innings, 5 earned runs given up on 10 hits. He threw 94 pitches. He did do an all right job keeping the Padres in the game. Didn't let the outing totally unravel on him, but he just threw a ton of pitches early on. 21 in the first inning, 28 in the second, 17 in the third, 18 in the fourth inning, and ultimately would get through 5 innings on 94 pitches, giving up a run in the first, a run in the second, a run in the third, 2 runs in the fourth inning as the Padres fell behind in this game 5-1. And then the Padres offense, they had a great scoring opportunity against Brandon Pfaadt early in this game. 2 walks to begin the game. They did not score, and it kind of set the tone for the whole night. Pfaadt went 5 2/3 innings, gave up just 2 runs, and then a much maligned Arizona bullpen. They've traded away a lot of their big-time relievers. It hasn't really been a good bullpen all year. Well, don't tell them that tonight. Andrew Hoffman was great, inning and a third scoreless. Kyle Backus with 2 innings scoreless to pick up the save, and that was that here tonight. Arizona scores 6 runs on 12 hits. The Padres only had 2 runs on 6 hits, and the Padres drop this series opener in AZ. When we come back, a full game recap, all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Mike Schultz coming up a little bit later as well. Padres fall 6-2 on this Monday night in Phoenix. Our post-game coverage continues after this. Jamul Casino Resort Padres Postgame Show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the, I wanted to say loft, I wanted to say Western Metal Building, but here in Phoenix at Chase Field as the Padres fall 6-2 here in Arizona. Tough one in this series opener for the Pods. We'll see if they can bounce back tomorrow with right-hander Yu Darvish on the mound. We'll hear from Mike Shildt coming up in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's recap this one.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Well, let's start in the top of the first inning. Right-hander Brandon Pfaadt on the mound for Arizona. He issued 2 walks to Fernando Tatis Jr. and Luis Ariz to start the game, but the Padres unable to capitalize and bring home either base runner. Arizona began their first inning with the first 2 base runners reaching base against J.P. Sears in his Padres debut, but Arizona had better success than the Padres did after singles by Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. stepped to the plate. And the 0-1, ground ball towards the middle, base hit. Around third base comes Marte. Merrill picks it up, throws to third. Throw there not in time. Throw to second not in time. It's an RBI base hit for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And Arizona jumps in front, 1-0 here in the first inning. Sears was able to limit the damage. However, he struck out the next 2 batters he faced to escape the jam while only allowing 1 run. Sears ran into more trouble in the bottom half of the second as the first 3 batters he faced all reached to load the bases with nobody out for the top of the Arizona lineup. Just as he did in the first inning, Sears wiggled his way out of the jam, allowing just 1 run on a sac fly by Corbin Carroll. And Arizona had a 2-0 lead through 2. In the top of the third, Manny Machado laced the ball to left field and tried to turn it into a hustle double. The ball beat Manny to second base by a few feet. He was called down initially, but Mike Shildt challenged the play, and the call was overturned as Manny somehow avoided Ketel Marte's tag to extend the inning. Up next was Jackson Merrill. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball, base hit into left center. Manny racing around third. He'll score easily. Cut off in the gap. Merrill racing for second. And he's in there with a stand-up 2-out RBI double. Padres cut the deficit in half. It's 2-1. Diamondbacks would get that run right back. J.P. Sears' struggles continued in the third when he served up a solo home run to Tyler Locklear, giving Arizona a 3-1 lead. Sears' struggles would continue in the fourth inning. Jorge Barosa led off with a double, followed by a single from Ketel Marte. That was before Corbin Carroll delivered another blow.
Sears comes set. First pitch, Carroll swung on, fly ball, right field, pretty well hit. Fernando's going back. He's not going to get there. It's going to be off the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes the throw to second base. Carroll is safe with a double, and Diamondbacks have a 4-1 lead as Barosa scores on the double like Corbin Carroll.
Still in the bottom half of the fourth inning, Sears found himself trailing 4-1 with 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out. This time, he was not able to limit damage as Lourdes Gurriel Jr. dug in.
Sears working out of the stretch. Pitch. Little pop-up towards right field. Jake's coming in. The outfielders are coming in. It's going to land in for a base hit. Another run is going to score as Fernando finally gets to it in no man's land. He throws home. And on the play, Marte scores 5-1 Diamondbacks here in the fourth.
We fast forward to the 6th inning. Gavin Sheets and Ramon Laureano reach base with 2 outs, giving Jake Cronenworth an opportunity to cut into Arizona's lead.
Long hold, the 1-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit into right field, in front of the right fielder. Gavin Sheets is going to be set. He's going to score. Padres now trail 5-2 on the RBI single by Jake Cronenworth. The rally continues for the Padres here with 2 outs in the 6th.
So it was a 5-2 game as we went to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Alec Thomas then hit a solo home run off Yuki Matsui in the bottom of the 8th inning. Diamondbacks would go on to win this one by a final score of 6-2. Final totals here tonight for the Diamondbacks: 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. They left on 6. Padres, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they left on 8. When we return, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Much more to do on our post-game coverage. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues after this. Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, where the grounds crew continues to work on the field. The stadium has emptied out, but we'll be back here tomorrow for Game 2 of this 3-game series. It'll be right-hander Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres tomorrow. Right-hander Ryan Nelson on the mound for Arizona. Well, as always, our post-game coverage brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resorts. And I had a chance to check out the all-new Jamul Casino Resort a number of months ago, and really was very impressed with the place. And do want to always remind you that our post-game coverage is brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place, as the Padres fall 6-2 on this Monday night. Not a great game for the Padres. Tough Padres debut for J.P. Sears, who in 5 innings, 5 earned runs given up. He was hit hard, allowed 10 hits. Padres had early opportunities offensively, but really could not get a whole lot going against Brandon Pfaadt. And then the bullpen for Arizona, really, really good. Andrew Hoffman, inning and a third scoreless. Kyle Backus, 2 scoreless innings, and that was the way it went here tonight as the Padres fall in this series opener. Let's go downstairs here at Chase Field and hear some post-game reaction from Mike Schilt.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Schilt. Served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Like a case of JP was leaving too many pitches up in the zone.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, hard to really replay the game, hard to see from the side where they were, but, it looked like some balls, elevated but more central part of the plate. And, they put a lot of good swings on them. I give them a lot of credit, though. He gutted up. It's not like where we were set up today a week ago. And, we didn't have a long man. And, we don't want to use our up guys either. And had Morgan down and Estrada down. So, anyway, he gutted up, found a way to, gut through 5 and give us a chance. But, just too many pitches more in the middle of the part of the plate, and they, put some good at-bats together.
I'm sure that he would have wanted to do that anyway and on his own, go as long as he can. Is that something that's communicated to him, since clearly you guys needed to get as much out of him as you could?
Oh, I think guys know. Yeah, I think guys figure that out. He's a real competitor. He wants to get out there, and he wanted to go as long as he could, as far as he could. So, really respect the way he competed tonight.
There was a time where Pfaadt was just really efficient, just throwing strikes. Is that just a matter of that's what he did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we had some, chance early on and couldn't scratch, and he got in a little bit of rhythm, and, ball was moving good, like it was going where he wanted. I didn't see a lot of glove movement from the catchers. Looked like he was throwing it where he wanted to, and we had a couple spots. Hearn, barely missed one that could have tied it, but otherwise he pitched well.
You've seen him a bunch, Pfaadt a couple times. Was there anything he was doing differently tonight from the other couple times you've seen him?
I think his biggest thing is controlling counts and locating his pitches. Did the ball well.
That was Padres manager Mike Schilt after the 6-2 loss to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sam Levitt back with you inside Chase Field in the broadcast booth here in Phoenix. Look, Brandon Pfaadt, he really does well against the Padres. Now, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the pregame. Some of the numbers are a little misleading with Brandon Pfaadt in this sense. I mean, look, he did come into this game with a 5.11 ERA on the year. But the interesting part about it, he came into today essentially a handful of really bad outings where he's given up 27 earned runs in 12-plus innings. He actually had a 3.38 ERA in his other 18 starts this season. Look, he's a good young right-hander. He is. I mean, the D-backs gave him a nice little extension for a reason before the year started. And look, he's always been good against the Padres. He went 8 innings, 2 runs given up against the Padres last month in San Diego. Came into the day a 3.24 ERA and 7 career starts against the Padres. I'm not trying to make excuses for the Padres here. However, he's a guy that's good and that has that has done well against the Padres in the past. Absolutely no doubt about that. You look at that first inning in particular, I thought the first inning sort of set the tone offensively for the night, unfortunately. Walks back-to-back guys, and then James McCann goes out, has a word with him, settles in, gets Manny, Merrill, and Bogarts 3 in a row to end the inning, and then puts up a scoreless second, gives up a run in the third, a scoreless fourth inning, scoreless fifth inning, gets the first 2 outs of the sixth inning before he gives up a run. So he was good here tonight. And again, this was going to be a hard game to win if you fell behind 5-1 as early as the Padres did through 4 innings. And JP Sears had a rough outing. Look, I'm no pitching guru. I never pretend to be. But Scans and I talked about it during the course of the broadcast tonight. Pitches were just up in the zone. And Sears, at least watching him one time here, he doesn't have the kind of velocity and I don't know that he has the kind of stuff where he can make mistakes like that, leaving balls up. And it just seemed like there were a lot of pitches left up, both off speed and fastballs tonight from JP Sears. And this Arizona lineup, even though they don't have Naylor, they don't have Eugenio Suarez anymore, make no mistake, this is still a lineup that can really hurt you. You got to be careful. Darvish has got to be careful with them tomorrow. You've got Marte, Carroll, Perdomo at the very top of the lineup. You've got Gurriel, who some nice things in the cleanup spot. They've got talent, Alec Thomas towards the bottom of the lineup. And they were all over JP Sears early in this game. Sears giving up 10 hits as he takes the loss in his Padres debut. When we come back, we'll get to our daily awards. If you want to get a phone call in, you can do that at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call if you want to get involved. Full look the out-of-town scoreboard coming up a little bit later as well. Final score here in Arizona, D-backs 6 and the Padres 2. Our post-game coverage continues after this.
press 1.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside Chase Field here in Phoenix, Arizona, as we continue to wrap this one up. Diamondbacks win it 6-2 against the Padres on this Monday evening. Padres fall to 62-51. Diamondbacks improve to 54-59. If you want to squeeze a phone call in, talk to me from Phoenix here, you can do that, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973 is always the phone number to call. There were some bright spots, really, I would say one bright spot out of the Padres bullpen today. Let's tell you about our relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, presented by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys. When your freedom and future are on the line, you need the best arm in the pen. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
1-1 to Locklear, grounded left side. Manny picks it up, goes to second. That's one. Throw to first base is in time. Double play. 5-4-3 double play. Not hit very hard at all. Manny had to hurry, got it to Cronenworth, who got it to Arise. And that is the inning. Wandy Peralta, 2 scoreless innings out of the bullpen, including that inning-ending double play in the 7th. The Wandy now, his last 12 appearances, a 0.77 ERA, has given up 1 earned run in 11 2/3 innings. And look, I thought that was a great appearance for Wandy, who's been really good as of late. And reality is this, when Wandy came in the 6th inning, it was only a 3-run game. I mean, really, it was only a 3-run game. So Wandy did a good job keeping the deficit at 3. You certainly felt like the Padres should be capable of coming back in this game. Didn't work out that way, but no fault of Wandy's. He was really good tonight. 2 scoreless innings for Wandy Peralta. It looked like the Padres were maybe starting to get a rally going in the top of the 9th inning, trailing by 4, but that's when Diamondback center fielder Alec Thomas provided our catch of tonight's game.
Which defensive play had the biggest impact on today's game?
He is at the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch.
This is the catch of the game.
Gonna hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Reeled in by Anthony's Fish Grotto La Mesa, celebrating 80 years of seafood excellence.
1-0. Swinging a high fly ball into center. Thomas racing back by the warning track. He's at the wall. He leaps, and he makes the catch in front of the fence. Excellent running play by Alec Thomas in dead center, and that'll do it. Diamondbacks win it 6-2 as they take this series opener in Phoenix. That was our catch of the game. Alec Thomas, a really nice play right in front of the 407 marker in straightaway center here at Chase Field. And if the Padres were going to put together more of a rally, that catch from Thomas ended it right there, ended the game. And unfortunately, here tonight, that was our catch of the game. Let's tell you about the heart of the order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order, presented by Palomar Health, the official healthcare provider of 97.3 The Fan. Palomar Health, leading with heart for every patient. Palomar Health is reimagining healthcare.
Well, the heart of the Padres ordered today, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. They had a grand total of 2 hits, 2 for 12 in today's game. Lone RBI for Jackson Merrill, who had an RBI double in the 3rd to make it a 2-1 game. So Manny, Merrill, and Bogarts 3, 4, 5. They went a combined 2 for 12. Manny and Merrill with the base hits, and an RBI tonight for Jackson Merrill. We'll step aside when we come back. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973, the phone number to call. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game, and we will also preview tomorrow's matchup here in Phoenix. Our final score here today, Diamondbacks 6 and the Padres 2 on the Padres Radio Network. Jamul Casino Resort Padres Postgame Show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside Chase Field here at Phoenix, inside Chase Field here in Phoenix, Arizona. Sorry, everybody. It's been a long day so far. Hey, player, the Jamul Casino Resort is your place with the Lux Hotel Tower opening soon, new dining, and a long list of amazing amenities. You'll have more ways to play and enjoy all the perks of your casino fun. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place, as the Padres not win. Again, long day. They lose this game 6-2 in Arizona on this Monday night, dropping this series opener. We'll tell you about the middle game of this series coming up in just a little bit. First, let's quickly pause because we have to. It's the rules. Let's quickly pause for station ID on the pod. Oh, Nick DiNucci already did it back in the studio. He's one step ahead. Wow. I'm sorry for doubting the GOAT, Nick DiNucci, back in the studio. He had it covered with the legal ID. All right. Never mind, no legal ID. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what went on around the majors on this Monday.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
We take a look at scores from around the major leagues. Cardinals beat the Dodgers in LA tonight 3-2. Cardinals scoring a run in the ninth inning. A Joel Pozo RBI single to win that game 3-2. So Padres unfortunately cannot gain any ground on the Dodgers tonight. Angels beat the Rays 5-1 in Anaheim. Joe Adell home run in that game for the Angels. Blue Jays beat the Rockies 15-1 in Colorado. Rangers beat the Yankees 8-5 in Arlington. The final in 10. Yankees lose a fourth consecutive game. By the way, I kind of didn't do that justice there. Rangers beat the Yankees 8-5. They won it on a Josh Young home run in the 10th inning. So the tough games for the Yankees continue. Reds beat the Cubs 3-2 in Chicago. Brewers beat the Braves 3-1 in Atlanta. Red Sox beat the Royals 8-5 at Fenway. Sixth straight win for the Sox. Guardians beat the Mets 7-6 in 10 in New York. Phillies beat up on the Orioles 13-3. Kyle Schwarber 2 home runs in that game for the Phils. Pirates beat the Giants 5-4 in Pittsburgh. Tigers beat the Twins 6-3 in Detroit. Astros beat the Marlins 8-2 in Miami. Astros snapping a 3-game skid. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Monday. Final score here today, Diamondbacks 6 and the Padres 2. Let's hear tonight's play of the game.
The line between winning and losing can be razor thin. Which play was the difference between victory and defeat? This is today's play of the game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Here's comes set. First pitch to Carroll, swung on, fly ball, right field, pretty well hit. Fernando's going back. He's not going to get there. It's going to be off the wall. One run is in. Here comes the throw to second base. Carroll is safe with a double, and Diamondbacks have a 4-1 lead. As Barossa scores on the double like Corbin Carroll.
Our play of the game, that Corbin Carroll RBI double in the fourth inning, made it a 4-1 game. The Diamondbacks would get one more run on the Lourdes Gurriel RBI single to make it 5-1, and we'll give Carroll, unfortunately, the play of the game. Kind of continued the rallying for the Diamondbacks in this game and help the Diamondbacks to a 6-2 win over the Padres. Okay, phone number to call, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's go to John in Chula Vista calling in. John, you're on the Padres Radio Network on our postgame coverage live from Phoenix. Go ahead.
Hey, Sammy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well.
All right. I just wanted to tell you, you did fantastic tonight compared to. I don't know if you announced this year or not already, but compared to last year, you've improved. So you get very good job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
With Sears, I I'm hoping it was just jitters, and I'm hoping that this is not going to be his typical thing. So that's that's one thing I'm worrying about. The other thing, and I don't mean to be a downer or whatnot, but the way I listen to the games is I just listen to the games on the radio constantly. I don't get it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to be the bad guy, but I'm not too sure about Scanlon sometimes, man.
All right, John, John. Thank you for the phone call. Look, Scan does a great job. Everybody, as part of the Padres broadcast team, does a great job. From Scan to Tony to Jesse to Don to Mud to Mike Pomeranz to Mary Lou's. In my opinion, it's overall one of, if not the best broadcasting groups in the majors. Everybody does a great, great job, and we're not here for that tonight. You want to talk about the game? That's fine. But Scans does a great job. I very, very much enjoy working with Scans and everybody else who does a fantastic job as part of our broadcast crew. Final score here tonight, Arizona 6 and San Diego 2. Nick in my ear, tell me if we have any other phone calls. If not, that might do it for us tonight. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Nick. Great job by Nick Danucci in our San Diego studios. As always, I will just mention JP Sears again. Look, no doubt it was a tough outing for JP Sears. 5 innings, 5 earned runs given up, 10 hits, 94 pitches. And Scans and I talked about it during the game. He just left pitches up, and it was not a great debut. Now, it doesn't mean that that's going to be what JP Sears is in his Padres career. You certainly hope not. But it was a tough debut. He got hit hard by this Diamondbacks offense, and, hopefully better days to come for JP Sears. But, look, it's always going to be hard when you fall behind 5-1 through 4 innings. You're asking a lot of your offense. However, I will say that, look, the offense left a lot to be desired in this game, right? I mean, no doubt they had a great opportunity against Vaught, a guy they struggle against in the first inning. Could not find a way to get a run in. They end up scoring a run in the third, but after that, offense goes quiet for a couple of innings. They get one in the 6th inning, but you look at it, they were down by, 3-4 runs, 7th, 8th, 9th innings, and could not get anything going against this Arizona pen. A guy in Kyle Backus, in particular, who has not been awesome this year, to say the least. Andrew Hoffman, I actually thought he looked really good out of the pen, and that's a guy they've never seen. But, Backus, not great, and the Padres didn't do much at all against this bullpen. So it was not all on JP Sears tonight, but he did put the Padres in a tough position when they fell behind 5-1. But it's not like the offense did a whole lot to pick up Sears in this game. But losses happen. Look, at the end of tonight, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat this for you, tonight was not a great game. Am I going to lose my mind over it? No. And part of the reason is this team has played very good baseball as of late. And also, I do think it's the time of year where every game is critically important. We get that. But to have a little perspective, Padres still, after tonight, after the Reds winning and the Padres losing, have a 3-game cushion on Cincinnati. That's not a huge cushion. We've got a long ways to go here. 2 months left in the season, but I'm just making the point. Let's see if they can bounce back tomorrow and Sunday. Now, you lose this series, you don't want to do that. Does it put a little bit more pressure on the Padres' next 2 games of this series? Yeah, it does. But we'll see if they can bounce back tomorrow. Am I going to go crazy after 1 game? No. Was JP Sears great tonight? No. Was the offense great tonight? No. However, Padres at 1-7 of 8 entering this series, and hopefully they can bounce back tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow's game, first pitch tomorrow at 6:40 p.m. Same time, same place. Our pregame coverage begins at 5:40. Right-hander Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. Right-hander Ryan Nelson on the mound for Arizona. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game coverage there as well. Taking a look at the final totals here tonight for the D-backs, 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. They left on 6. For the Padres, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left on 8. Winning pitcher Brandon Pfaadt, who improves to 11-7. Losing pitcher J.P. Sears, who drops to 7-10. And the save goes to Kyle Backus, his first of the season. Time of game, 2 hours and 38 minutes. And the crowd at Chase Field here in Phoenix, 20,196. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 6:40. Pregame coverage from Phoenix begins at 5:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Nick Tanucci, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Arizona. Again, the final score in this series opener, the Arizona Diamondbacks 6 and the San Diego Padres 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great rest of your Monday night, everybody.